Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good to see you. So as all of you know, we are here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of Riggs Crossing Senior Residences. Yes, indeed. And one of my favorite facts is that both me and our dear mayor are sons and daughters of Ward 4, so I just couldn't be prouder personally to be standing before you guys here today. So I will be brief. A quick thank you to Mayor Bowser and her team, who have been remarkable in this effort of moving this project forward. Our newest partners on this project, APA, and you'll hear from them later, and they are the quarterbacks of this wonderful project that you see before you. Councilmember Louis George and her team, who have stepped in and really kept the ball moving forward. And last but certainly not least, and I know there are so many other folks to thank, but you guys have heard me say this before. We were up on this podium, Mayor Bowser, maybe 6, 8 months, 10 months ago. I have never been involved in a project where the community has taken the bull by the horns as it has with this community. LRCA, and really moved the ball forward and pushed us as opposed to the other way around. So, as many of you who know me know, I like a good conversation, but there's one thing better than good conversation, and that is good action. And so a couple quick notes about this project. We often talk in this city about community, and as you heard me say, there is no better model that I have seen than the community being engaged from the start. LRCA, Lamont Riggs Civic Association in particular, to this day. And actually, I'm walking down the street here, and Barbara, the president of the LRCA, presents EYA with this award. And so, like, it's a two-way street, right? So thank you, Barbara. You know, we talk in this country, in this city, about female leadership. And the last time I was up here, you heard me say that I do believe, as the father of a 13-year-old daughter, that the future is female. And I just want to take a quick note, right? So obviously, our dear mayor, Mayor Bowser, Councilmember Louis George, but at the community level, Gwen Cofield, right over there, and her folks, Uchenna Evans, and Barbara Rogers, the president of the LRCA, just tireless leaders. There she is back there. So we talk about that in this project. We put it into the actionable. It's actionable. We talk about job creation and economic development. It is before you here today. And finally, we talk about attainable and affordable housing and the need to build a lot of it. And when you look behind us and you see these for sale townhouses that are almost complete, EYA's portion of this project, as well as our overall stewardship, you see that being put into action. The last time we were before you, we were talking about the mayor's homeownership strike force, and projects like this are moving that forward. And last but not least, we talk about affordable housing, and not only affordable housing, but taking care of those who have taken care of us our entire lives, our seniors. And this project just hits so many of those things that are important to the city in one place. Let's complete this project, and let's do it all over again throughout the city. So with that, I'm going to introduce Miss Van Joy Turner to come up and say a few words and introduce our mayor. Thanks, everybody.
Got some high energy here. Let's keep it going. Isn't it a nice day to be out? We're blessed with the sunshine and not too much heat. Just a great day. Thank you. My name is Vandalia Joyner Taylor. And it's such a pleasure just to be here, much less to have the opportunity to address our wonderful mayor. It is just a blessing to have you as our leader in this city. I wanted to get that out there first. Yes. So, I've lived in this community since 1959. Don't count the years because I have forgotten. I raised 3 children in this community. They all went to LaSalle Elementary School. They all came out alive, and that was a blessing to me. But in particular, over the past 2 decades, we've had a very strong advocate who has listened to our needs and thoughts for us. Dating back to when she was an ANC commissioner, a Ward 4 council person, and now the mayor of this great city. Now that's a lot of responsibility, but she has taken it on with more than we can account for her smiles. So let's give her a big hand right now. Her commitment to this project is what has continued to move it forward. And affordable senior housing will mean, and what it will mean to our neighborhood. One second. Oh, I'm savvy. So savvy, I don't know what I'm doing, huh? Okay. I'll get it in a minute. Here we go. It is an honor to have the pleasure to introduce Mayor Muriel Bowser, she is our 8th elected mayor as of February of 2015. And she's serving her 3rd term. She has a very strong record of creating a bold urban policy agenda, making tough decisions, enforcing laws, as well as the power to either approve or veto bills that are passed by the city council. She oversees the district services, public property, police and fire protection, most public agencies, and the D.C. school system, as well as shaping a diverse economy. Mayor Bowser is the highest ranking official in this city. In addition to all the above, she is the proud parent of a beautiful 5-year-old daughter. Let's give her a hand for that. Once Mayor Bowser was asked what she wants to be remembered for, and she replied, for relentless commitments and to give every Washingtonian a shot. So with that, let us just stand and give a rousing welcome to our mayor, the Honorable Muriel Bowser. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have to give Miss Van Joy a big round of applause for that one. I'm introduced by a lot of people, but I've never heard that introduction, so I know you wrote that one. So thank you for your kind words, and it's always good for me to be in Riggs Park, always. And I always seem to have to fight back tears when I think about the last 20 years of this community working on a series of developments that have transformed Riggs Park and have delivered to Riggs Park exactly what it wanted. I think about my neighbors, my friends. I think about LRCA leadership, the founding of the Riggs Park Development Task Force. And then I see the effectiveness of community leadership. So I'm just really grateful to everyone who has been a part of this. Riggs Park neighbors will know that where we stand right now used to be a slip road, right? Remember that slip road that people sped on to then like torpedo themselves onto Riggs Road? Remember that slip road? And so many, I don't know if we saw it then, we kind of saw it, that we could close those roads, we could make Riggs Road in South Dakota safer, and in the process, invite more Riggs Park neighbors, more homeowners, and more retail. And I have to say, working with that group of people who aren't developers, who aren't transportation officials, but who are just people who, like me, all those back in 1999 for me, 1959, like for others, we just said, like, Riggs Park is a really great neighborhood. And it is going to take us to make it even greater. And that's how I felt when I bought my home here in 2000. I'm grateful to Riggs Park neighbors who have been my first supporters and who supported me as an ANC commissioner. And it was a really tough race. Nobody ran against me. But it was one where I learned every skill that I need to lead this city. So Akash and others, Akash has been working, who is indeed a great son of our city, and has built the type of development career that we should all be proud of, because his company goes into neighborhoods and says, how can we partner to deliver for you what you want for your community? So I was glad when EYA got involved in this project. I've watched this type of EYA product for a long time. I saw it work when I was back in Silver Spring, and I knew it would work in Ward 4. And so I'm really pleased about that. I'll be pleased about Tacoma. I'll also be pleased about our reservoir project. So we have a lot to deliver for the people of Ward 4. So let's hear it for your development team. We actually, I'm speaking too long, but I'll go really quickly now. We actually, when I think about it, I'm going to acknowledge her council member now. Council member Lewis George will represent the fourth council member who has helped with this project. Early on, I remember when Mayor Fenty, we met here at Riggs LaSalle in a full auditorium. Mayor Fenty had just won the primary, all precincts in the District of Columbia. And this is when we started talking about this project. And he assured people then that the community was going to be right there, but so was the city. And the city was going to make sure that we could deliver the investments that it would take. One of the early investments was, and then Gwen, you may remember the number, but I think it was, or Rodney, so a couple $1 million to get that Tiger Market torn down. And they wouldn't do it. So I said, we have to do it, and then we'll get our money back. And we did. And it was projects like that that have gotten us to where we are today, including closing this slip lane, including transferring all types of ownership over the years so that we would be here. But let me turn to one of our favorite topics, and it is fitting that our former president of the LRCA, Sharon Hines here, is now the director of the Department of Aging and Community Living. And today we're talking about aging and community living right here in Riggs Park. So with that, I just want to say thank you. I am proud that we are delivering on our promises, and I'm even more proud that we are delivering great places, affordable places in community for the residents of Riggs Park in Washington, D.C. So with that, congratulations, everybody. We're looking forward to other great projects. Gwen, I think we're almost done with our list, though, aren't we? Almost done. This is the last project on a list of projects that included MedStar, the Chick-fil-A site that was the Kentucky Fried Chicken, a new library, squaring off this intersection, transforming the fields and playgrounds here at LaSalle, Walmart, 300 units, dining. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good record right there. And when we cut the ribbon here, we'll be that much closer. And the residences at Fort Totten will conclude really the vision that the Lamont Riggs Development Task Force set out almost 20 years ago. And I'm just really proud. I'm really proud to be here right now. So with that, I want to turn to your Councilmember Lewis George.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I want to say thank you for your steadfast support for our Ward 4 community, your steadfast support for this project, but your steadfast support for affordable housing across the district. Absolutely. When Ms. Van spoke about you, I said, and you said a part of your legacy was going to be, I said, affordable housing is going to absolutely be a part of Mayor Bowser's legacy, the amount of housing you have developed and produced, not only in this ward, but across the city. So we really thank you and can't thank you enough for that commitment. Now, today is a momentous day for Ward 4. We break ground on an inspiring project that will bring new housing dedicated to our senior citizens. Riggs Crossing senior residents will help us fulfill a sacred promise to our seniors who have given so much to our city and made DC what it is today, that they will have dignified, affordable homes where they can age in place right here in the district. That is what our seniors deserve. It is especially great that we will have this incredible resource here in the heart of Riggs Park. Riggs Park is one of the most dynamic, inclusive, and loving communities, not just in Ward 4, but across all of the District of Columbia. Riggs Park residents love their neighbors and are deeply dedicated to their community. As someone who has talked to so many people in Riggs Park and spent many days here for the turkey drives, the back-to-school events, the school visits, the civic meetings, the community celebrations, Father's Day, Mother's Day, I mean, Riggs Park knows how to show what community really means and what it really looks like. And it is a beacon for this city and a model for what community should and look like across the District of Columbia. To Ms. Van especially, you are a hero, a shero, as what we would call it. And it is only fitting that someone who has been a champion for our community is kicking off today's celebration. Thank you for all that you do for this community. I also want to thank the Lamont Riggs Citizens Association. Now 75 years strong, for their important role in bringing this project to our community. LRCA and its Development Task Force advocated to make Riggs Crossing senior residents the project we all knew it could be. I want to acknowledge Barbara Rogers, Uchenna, Gwen. I see Rodney is here, Sharon Hines. I mean, LRCA is amazing, an amazing dynamic group who really does amazing work, and we would not be here without them today. But to do great things, we also need great partners, and that's exactly what we had for this project. Thank you to all of our government and private sector partners, though, but especially EYA and Akash. I said this to him earlier, for being so open to working with LRCA and responsive to our community needs. They really earned the community trust and helped get this project right, and they built trust over time by showing up and being consistent. They are a model for how you should come into community and how you should develop, and I just can't thank EYA and the project team enough for being a model for how this is done in our city. One of our most urgent priorities as a city is confronting the housing crisis that has pushed so many residents and neighbors out of D.C. The roadmap for preventing displacement requires projects just like this one that are all affordable, including units that are deeply affordable for families who need them most, that include permanent supportive housing units that end homelessness, that are accessible and include amenities that improve residents' quality of life, and that deliver new retail to our community, which are going to join our amazing Parks Main Street. I see Edward is here. Our existing library, the new Lillian Huff Library. Our amazing LaSalle School. And other public facilities that residents can take advantage of to meet their full needs. It is transportation oriented with Fort Totten right there, and the mayor didn't mention it, but she also did the Metro Branch Trail, and while they finished in Ward 5, the work has just begun in Ward 4, and it's going to go all the way to Tacoma. So when we talk about accessibility, this is accessibility for our seniors who need it most. So this is truly a project that we can be proud of in Ward 4, and a project that is worth celebrating. I am so thankful to our community partners. Outside of the mayor and the council, we have another group of elected officials that also do tireless work who are unpaid, and that is our advisory neighborhood commissioners. So I also want to acknowledge LaRoya Huff and Allison Brooks, who have been amazing ANC commissioners to see this project through as well. Thank you all for your service and for making this an incredible project. And now I will turn it over to my colleague in public service, Christopher Donald from the Housing Finance Agency. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's hot out here. We can stay all day. Good morning, everybody. So it is my privilege to be here today. And as we start together, I want you all to take a word and hold this word, and that word is intentionality. Okay? Intentionality. So watch this, Mayor. So in chess, a grandmaster, after 7 moves in, has over 3 billion moves. Just ponder that for a moment. But what it takes is an intentional player to see what those moves are and move to the win. When you look at what has happened in this community over the last 10 or 15 years, Mayor, there was a council member a ways back who sat in the economic development community who had to put all of this into play, right? There was somebody who saw the land that had to come together and converge into this moment. And not only do we have a cornucopia of retail, not only do we have a bevy of housing options, right? But we are developing on a transit-oriented node, right? So people can come into the city through Riggs Road, to Military, to the other side of town. You can go up and down South Dakota Avenue to other options. So what that means is that the people who live here have an opportunity to change their lives. And so when we talk about affordable housing, having something that is beautiful, something that is healthy, and something that is affordable, this is the epitome of that. Almost a year ago, we stood right behind us when the mayor launched her Black Homeownership Initiative, where she promised that she would do something transformational to encourage more Black home ownership in this city. And we made that commitment, and we are working towards that goal right now. Not only does she have that goal, but she also had a goal of building 36,000 units by 2025. And we are working towards that goal as well. She has been intentional. So it is my privilege to serve here. It is my privilege to continue to contribute to those goals. And it is my duty to continue to be intentional. So I invite you all to be intentional in our lives and in our work to continue the transformation of our city. And now I will introduce my colleague and my brother, Drew Hubbard, from DHCD.
Can I get an amen for Pastor Chris? It's always hard following. I always try to get him to put me in front of him. But he touched on a lot of things that are very on point, not with just with this project, but with how we approach affordable housing across the city. As he mentioned, the mayor charged us with creating 36,000 new units of housing, 12,000 of which to be affordable. I'm happy to tell you right now, we're about 60% of that goal to creating affordable housing in the district, and this gets us that much closer to that goal. But we don't get there without, as Chris said, intentionality, without policy and resources. Just in the last 2 years, the mayor's budgeted almost $1 billion for projects just like this. So you don't get here today without the resources the mayor puts in and the council supports to make sure that we get to days like this. I want to take a quick second just to recognize some of the staff members of the DHC that helped get to this day too. Resh Mahala, who's in the back. Bernard Guzman, and those of you who have been involved in projects like this, you know it doesn't happen without attorneys. So Salma Khalid was the project attorney on this from the DHCD side. So we didn't talk specifics, but there's almost $30 million in public resources that went into this project to make sure we could get here. One other thing, and you didn't scoop me on this one, Chris, as well as making sure that this is dedicated for seniors, for those at the spectrum of the income level that need it the most, it also actually hits our environmental goals too. So one of the things that we're proud of is that this project is actually going to reach the DEO standards that are going to be cutting edge, not just for the region, but for the country, to make sure this project is environmentally friendly also. So it's that kind of putting all the dots together to make sure we're putting the needed housing, making sure it's environmentally friendly, and for the people that it serves that get us here today. And you see by all these names, we don't do it without partnership. We don't do it without EYA, without APA, without DCHFA, and all of you. So congratulate yourselves for getting here, and thank you so much. I am to bring up Carmen Romero, President and CEO of APA.
Okay, and I get the privilege of closing us out today, but my name is Carmen Romero. I'm the president and CEO of a nonprofit called APA. First, I want to thank this community for honoring us by allowing us into this long-term vision. We've only been on the scene for a few years, but we see the energy. We know all of the partnership and love that went into building this, and we are committed to working alongside EYA, to being here in 2025 cutting a ribbon alongside of you, Mayor Bowser. This is a historic day for my nonprofit. We are a 34-year-old nonprofit, and we serve over 4,000 people today in this region. But for us, most of that time was spent just serving a 26 square mile jurisdiction. But we know that if we're really going to live our mission as a nonprofit, and that vision is everyone deserves a place to call home. It's a foundation. It's a human right. We can't just stay in our little comfortable place where we operated for 30 years. And this is our first project in the district, and I pray and I know it will not be the last. So thank you for this opportunity. We know the residents in the district, especially seniors at lower incomes, deserve housing that can provide stability and dignity. The need is especially important post-pandemic, as high as it's ever been. And at APA, we respond to needs. I will tell you that throughout the pandemic, we kept everyone housed, and that was me and my senior team going household by household by household by household. That's our job. Right here in Washington, D.C., 1 in 9 residents is a senior, according to the 2020 State of Older Adults. That population is not only growing, but so are the residents who unfortunately have fewer and fewer means. But that should not be a barrier to quality housing. And in 2025, 93 new households will enjoy beautiful, high-quality housing with all the amenities that they deserve. And we are excited to join this community with robust amenity spaces for people to connect and use this incredible transit system and groceries and other services that make this place an area of opportunity. Resident services will be led by Marquand Jackson, our vice president. APA's a 50-person nonprofit. 18 of those people work in his area. They're just focusing on services for our residents to give both stability and opportunity. 18 out of our 15 employees are there. And my board, 2 of my board members are there right now. We only had 4 people in that group at the start of the pandemic. We now have 18. Because, like I said, when we see a problem, we got to lean in to fix it. So I'm going to just do some quick thank yous. Most of the names are here, so I'm not going to walk through every single one of them. But I did have to say special shout-outs to some folks. First, to the government of the District of Columbia, Mayor Bowser, thank you. Thank you for your vision and your leadership. To your amazing team at DEMPED that was working alongside of us. This is a hard deal, and we appreciate your helping us our first time out. DHCD, which received a shout out a minute ago, so I won't name names there. DCHFA, Christopher Donald, your entire team. Christopher didn't mention that he was my first boss at APA when I joined there 14 years ago, so thank you for all you taught me. And DCHFA as well. To the community leadership, the ANC commissioner, Aaron Palmer, the Ward 4 council member who I just met today, thank you for your words earlier. Our financing team are all listed there: Truist, Grambridge, Freddie Mac, Virginia Community Capital. The Metropolitan Council of Governments gave this a small pre-development grant because they saw we were trying to go regional, and they said, you go do that. But this is a regional problem. It's time to step up. We have incredible lawyers at Gallagher, Views and Jones, Saul Ewing. But one person deserves a shout out that I want to make sure I do: Stratus Housing, Scott Klein. He is amazing and was really a key to this for APA to be able to pull the financing together. Title, construction management. We use third-party construction management that's worked alongside of us for 10 years. You will not, I promise you, neighbors, we will be all over the construction, and KCM is going to make sure that we are good neighbors through construction and after. From a design perspective, you've got this beautiful rendering by our world-class architects at Torty Gallison Partners, as well as an entire team of civil and landscape and interior structural behind them that you'll see there. To our SBE and CBE partners, thank you. To Davis Construction, who is already mobilized, you see behind you. This is their 3rd project we're doing with them, and they're always early and under budget, right, Davis? There you go. We're doing it again here. To my board of directors for their support in this expansion. And like I mentioned, we have a 50-person team at APA, and we had a couple people that have really worked day in, day out on this for the last 3 years. First, I want to thank Garrett Jackson, who put together today's festivities. Thank you for making this beautiful day possible. And to the folks on my real estate team, led by Mike Chiappa, our Senior Vice President of Real Estate, Amanda Stevenson and Vivian Molinado, who's, I think, here, I hope. But really, the 2 people on my team, the tag team, the dynamic duo, dedicated professionals at APA, Mitch Crispell, Director of Real Estate, and Joanna Shin, our project manager. Congratulations to everyone involved. Mayor Bowser, can I invite you here for some Q&A? Thank you.
Well, welcome to D.C. So that's going to be fun. I'm warning you, they're tough. They're tough, right? All right. We're looking forward to 93 new families coming right here. So welcome again. Okay. So I think we can turn to any press questions, and then I'll take a few community questions, and then we'll shovel some dirt. Any questions? Oh, before I do that, I was remiss in not acknowledging, and they have been acknowledged, our big deal team at DEMPED. So let's give our DEMPED staff a big round of applause. Sarosh Padwala is here, Development Manager Patrick Smith. Is this the project manager for this project? Okay, there he is. Thank you, Patrick. For your hard work. I talked about all the machinations of the land and how we can get DDOT Street park, space, whatever, and make it housing. And it took a lot of work. So I want to thank you, our entire team, for that. All right, where are the questions? Any questions? Okay, no questions? All right, fantastic. Any community questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Yes. Sure. Who wants to talk about the retail? Akash or Carmen?
Yes, as part of the plan, we are committed to at least 5,000 square feet of neighborhood retail here. And we are, now that we're underway, we are actively looking for the appropriate co-location for this housing.
All right, let me invite everyone up for the ceremonial groundbreaking.